Okay, folks, this will be a challenging one. I don't know how this one's going to look. The nerds will inherit the copier world. Yes, they will, folks. The copier nerds, otherwise known as toner heads, the nerds and geeks of the photocopier world, otherwise known as toner heads, we're going to inherit the copier world, folks. The state it's going to be in will be in a real shabby state because the money fuckers have fucked it up, but we're going to redesign the photocopier from scratch. That's a job I've decided to take on willingly. Not straight away, of course. There has to be things happening before it can happen, such as when they have technology to fix the brain damage I had at birth that prevents me from learning new things and absorbing and retaining information. So I can't learn. This is it. This is what we're photocopying, folks. You can't learn much, do much, if you haven't got much hippocampus or short-term memory to play with when you're trying to learn something new and design something. You can't do that, unfortunately. But I'm not going to give up, folks. I'm not going to give up. They'll have the technology, I'm sure. There's already been some work done from Elon Musk, and basically it's called Neuralink, and they've already just started the human trials. It's going to take a while for them to find out, I guess, whether it's going to work or not, but I'm hoping that kind of technology, if properly implemented, could actually help fix the brain damage, and I'll be able to have full use of my brain, and it'll function well, and that's what I want. I want to be able to work efficiently, and I don't want my life to be dictated to by my disability for the rest of my life. I'm trying to do something here, folks. But yeah, I do look forward to the time when they have the technology to fix the brain damage and to be able to get me to move on and learn STEM, science, technology, engineering and math and chemistry and copier theory. Then I'd have to eventually learn about business, so business studies, and there's going to be a lot of work to be done, learning all that I need to know to run a corporation that builds the best photocopiers on earth, but also to start with being the one who prototypes the original machinery at the beginnings, and that Lego looks really quite promising. So yeah, basically I want to be the one who creates the original prototype of this equipment and bring it up to market, bring it into manufacture. To do this virtually by myself, I feel I can't trust other people with my work. I want to do it properly. I want to do it as per my strictest standards. Even though I've got an undiagnosed intellectual disability, which is what I'm hoping the Neuralink would help with, if they can make such gadgets or implants for that kind of brain damage. Well, basically, what was I going to say? My memory's just left me again, folks. It really annoys me when that happens. But basically, yeah, when they have the technology done and... I've forgotten, folks. I lost my train of thought, folks. Sorry, guys. My memory's not too good, folks. It does annoy the fuck out of me when I just can't remember, when I lose my train of thought. But I want to redesign the photocopier from scratch. I want to make it the hardware last at least around 60 years. and I want to make the software customizable. So basically I want to make this equipment something that you can customize, so the hardware lasts 60 years. It's built, there'll be less plastics used. The plastic used in this machine will only go where plastics can go, like in wiring and plugs and sockets and all the stuff where plastics can, like as insulation type applications, not for the panels, not for the frame, chassis, none of that sort of shit. I don't like plastics, folks. I don't want any kind of plastics, whether they be practical or even worse, cosmetic. We don't want to have excessive amounts of that material in my design. So these are what we just did, that one there first and then this one here. So we just did that one. I just want to make sure I've shown these properly. Sometimes I just flick it like that. I just have a quickly flick, and I don't like that, folks. I don't want you audience to be annoyed with my lack of good camera work, which often happens, unfortunately, even with the best of intentions, folks. But yeah, I wanted to redesign the photocopier. It's going to have artificial intelligence driving it, so it's going to be like the machine will start out with some basic parts to it, like the enlargements and reductions and double-sided copying and stuff like that, but then you won't be getting all the fancy features. They can be added on later if you're using an app using the App Store to download the applications and basically pick and choose what you want, folks. What you need and what you won't, not what you don't. I do think I might do that one at 100 again. This is too big. I'm going to just decide. I'm going to utilise that. I'm going to use that as our master copy. But basically I just want to make it a better machine, and it's got to be built, the hardware all incidentally has got to be built from mostly from as much as possible, recycled materials instead of virgin materials. Try to make as little as possible from a mine. We don't mine the mines, we mine rubbish tips. As a general rule, we only use the mine if there's no other way. If there's no other way of sourcing the necessary materials. And that's come up looking really quite interesting. But basically I really want to make this machine really stand out from the rest. I don't want anything like the stuff we have today, the bullshit machinery that we have today that really doesn't work that well and doesn't last as long as it should. I really get annoyed at the industry for not making new features with the machinery. They just like to tinker around the edges and add flick and drag and all that sort of shit to make it look good but not functional. And they don't have artificial intelligence, so there's no way these features are going to be working very efficiently. So, basically you've got to change how things are done, and the world is not going to stop. I have to fucking keep up with it. I have to take hold and make a difference. I'm interested in making a difference, folks. The only thing is I need to, for the starters, is to get on the 6 o'clock news on Channel 9 starting with Sydney or anywhere in Australia, but then I just want to get on the news, on the 6 o'clock news bulletin. And basically I'm trying to get in touch with my partner Luigi, who will help train me up in copier theory once the brain damage issues have been sorted in the future. But I still have to have Luigi's love and care and all that, because I just can't be on my own anymore. but he'll be able to get in touch with whatever is needed. I need to be diagnosed first for the intellectual disability. I also do believe I have also undiagnosed as a high functioning autism, but I don't consider the high functioning autism a problem because it helps me keep focused on these tasks, on these photocopier related tasks. I don't get too caught up in the social side of things and getting really forgetting about what I have to do. I have to concentrate. To me, it's like a form of survivalism, because I'll never get to the 6 o'clock news if I spend my time hanging out with gaggles of friends and not doing anything useful, just hanging out and doing this and that and seeing this and seeing that, and the world just goes by. And I'm not going to be forgotten, folks. I'm not going to allow myself. I'm going to make this a bit bigger on the vertical again. That looks really quite nice so far, this piece. Didn't want any voids though. I wanted to avoid the voids, but you can't always do that, folks. But yeah, and I want to even make the photocopier itself available in different finishes and colour, like aluminium external panels made in different colours of anodised aluminium, so that you can take your pick. You can customise the cosmetics, the external cosmetics of the machinery. So you can just choose things. Choose features, choose your colours. Something that's designed to be made into like it's your piece of equipment. And the apps that you download from the internet can be really, really cheap, and you can just make so many wonderful special effects and functions and adjustments, and they'll seamlessly integrate with the AI that's already on board the photocopier. The AI is going to be like factory standard, just like the basic enlargements and reductions, and how it's going to be, whether you want double-sided, single-sided, collated. Actually, no, the collation would be probably a separate thing. If you don't need to collate, why have a collator? So, basically, but that's something I have to think about, folks. One of the many things that I should say. That's another story. It's a long way off, folks. I'm just tossing ideas around that I've been thinking about. But the industry has to change. The industry has to be transformed into a clean and green and energy efficient industry. So yeah, I just need Channel 9 to get the ball rolling. Otherwise, none of this will ever happen if Channel 9 don't make something of it and play this on their 6 o'clock bulletin. And yeah, that's come up looking quite a treat. I think we can now call this demo quits.